Hey everybody, we are back from vacation, rolling into Richmond after the 2 off weeks. Richmond has been a staple on the schedule for, 50 years now, and it has given us some of our greatest NASCAR moments, and my favorite, probably of all time. There are several great ones. There's the battles between David Pearson and Richard Petty. There's, Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace at Bristol or Terry Labonte. But there is only one at the top of the heap, and it is Dale Earnhardt Sr. cleaning his windshield. Literally sitting on the door top, wiping it off. Are you kidding me? It's like takes his belts off, literally is coasting around the racetrack. It looks like a scene from Talladega Nights. It looks like something Ricky Bobby would do.
What a wild time to be alive.
I know.
Like, just going back and reading about that time and what's all going on, like, that is
the Aero Coupes 1986 Monte Carlo SS's.
Yeah, that is a sketchy thing to be doing there. But hey, man.
Obviously, no window net. Were window nets not?
Well, but back then you could get your window net up. Like now they're so tight and everything's so safe. Like then you just move it. You can spin around on your seat if you want and just keep going.
Like turn around behind you, like get this thing up. Like the old seatbelt clip was the only thing holding it on to.
Yeah, check and see if you're clear.
Yeah, dude.
Do all that stuff. Yeah, man. Hey,
I don't blame you. Do whatever it takes. It's the man who refuses to lose.
What do we got up here?
And he refused.
20 car.
Also, one of the biggest woes there was the ambulance crash getting on the pit road. Pit road in Richmond is generally a blind corner anyways. You see a stack up. But never do you expect the ambulance to be parked on the entrance pit road. And Matt Kenseth found out. This poor guy's just trying to get off the racetrack, trying to take the hard left corner to the infield care center. Meanwhile, the entire field's coming down.
That's just a miscommunication. I don't know if NASCAR told him
it's really tight where you get on pit road there too.
Yeah, and you don't expect to see a freaking paddy wagon sitting in the middle of the road. Like, whoa. Knocks the left rear quarter off 38, knocks the radiator out of Matt Kenseth.
That's a tough spot too because where he's stuck on the crack, right? So you can't really, you don't have any, your brakes aren't working that well. But you also got to get below that orange mark.
But I feel like there should be some leeway there. It's an oversight on a lot of different things. The ambulance just stopped. I don't know what's going on. It's just some volunteer EMT guy driving the bus that happens to be right in the smack in the middle of the race.
Tough look.
Hopefully that doesn't happen this coming weekend. But what is happening this weekend can also cause some pandemonium because we have some option tires, ladies and gentlemen. The same red soft tires that we raced at North Wilkesboro performed pretty well. We didn't see a whole lot of tire deg.
New asphalt at Wilkesboro, though. Wore out asphalt at Richmond.
That's true.
Had to do something at Richmond because everybody's about the racing.
Yep.
So
here we go.
Did something. Let's see how it goes.
8 sets, 6 yellows is what we've been going there with the past, but threw in a little bit of a curveball. 2 sets of reds, use them when you want to. Natural thinking, you think you're just going to use them at the end. Or, hypothetically, let's just talk through some different scenarios here. If you think that you're going to be on the 8th to 18th range, right? If we're looking at it from our perspective, and there is only 20 cars on the lead lap because there's some guy that decides to put reds on and laps half the field, do you put your reds on the second half of each stage to stay on the lead lap for the third stage, and then you fight it out?
If you could predict when the caution was going to come, right? But like that's the thing. It's much like what we saw at the Chicago road course when it was an option to put reins on or dries, and then the guys that stayed out on reins didn't really factor the fact that the guys on dries were going to be so much faster they're going to be a lap down. Right? So that's going to be a key part of this race, and the only way that you would be able to understand how you have to call the race is if you could predict the future and know when the cautions are going to come out. Now, Richmond tends to run green for a long time,
yes,
but one caution changes that exponentially.
Yep.
So if you could know that with 20 to go, there's going to be a caution, right? Then
But you don't.
But then you know that you're going to save a set of reds for that.
Right.
But there's going to be movers and shakers no matter what.
Yep.
And
We also
like you
don't know
said,
the disparity between the two tires, how much speed difference there is. I would anticipate 3 to 4 tenths.
if it's a
for
long green
15
flag,
laps.
but if it's a long green flag run race,
You will
and
burn
are
the reds off.
Yeah, you're aggressive on your reds. You might have to pit one more time, which is going to put you a lap down too. So it is going to be a challenge for these crew chiefs and engineers for sure.
And I don't even think you can look at tire deg or numbers and statistics of the tire life from Wilkesboro that even apply to Richmond. I think it's a different animal.
Yeah, because Wilkesboro was very hard to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Minimal tire wear because of the brand new surface.
Mm-hmm.
Richmond is easier to pass at times if you
Relatively.
lose, because you can lose drive really good,
Mm-hmm.
especially off of 4.
Yeah.
So we shall see. The good thing
Yeah, we
about
will.
like the difference between it being hard to pass at Wilkesboro was it was one groove around the top,
Yeah.
so you can't really move a guy.
Right.
Where at Richmond, it's more one groove around the bottom.
Yep.
So you can, if you're fast enough, you get to him, you can move them up off the bottom.
Mm-hmm. That's mine.
So that, I hope it helps racing at Richmond, because Richmond's a great racetrack.
But it hasn't quite been the action track that we've we have coined it to be for the last couple
Nope,
years.
it has not. And, kudos to everybody for making a change, making a swing. And if this is something that's successful, is this something we do more of in the playoffs?
Well, NASCAR's been outspoken about trying to fix the short track package. And one of the most important variables that affects the racing is the one thing that touches the racetrack, and that's 4 Goodyear Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So now if Goodyear and NASCAR are working together and they want to see it more often, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing option tires at more short tracks. I think it would certainly change the game, see some comers and goers, certainly add some talking points for the race. And I think NBC in particular would do a great job of explaining the strategies about who's on it and the discrepancy between the two. So I think the fans are going to be in for a treat at 6 p.m. on USA.
I thought you were going to say informed.
They're going to be informed,
And
and they're going to be in for a treat as well. 6 p.m. on
informed
USA.
for a treat.
Because Rick Allen, Jeff Burton, and Steve Letarte are going to break it down. A lot of stuff we don't know. We're going to go there this weekend with a lot of questions, and there's going to be one guy with the answers. And we're going to see who it's going to be rolling into the action track. That's all I got.
Hey, man, 4 races to go. The playoff scenario is
We got Richmond, Michigan, Daytona, Darlington.
Yep, the 17 car is 17 points to the good. The 1 car is 7 points to the good, and the 23 is 7 points out. The 1 car's been on a big landslide here lately.
And the 23 has been on a bit of an upward trajectory as well.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because, what I love, the thing that I love is we're not in it, right? I've been in this situation. When you're the 23, the 1, or the 17, your playoffs already started. So you're playoff racing every pit stop. You can't have, one thing go wrong. You are on pins and needles every run of the race. You saw the emotion out of Bubba Wallace when we were at Indy. When he won the stage, it was a huge deal. They got 10 points for that. 1 car has been one of the hottest teams since Trackhouse.
With the next-gen car.
Since he signed over there.
Yeah.
They have been one of the best teams for sure. So to see them have a lull and the 99 be locked in. The thing that I love is that if somebody outside of there wins, it's still going to be a tight points race between those 3, and we'll see what transpires. 4 races, 2 we'll call it fuel mileage races, and 2 hardcore pitting races with Darlington and Richmond,
And then the wild card, Daytona.
Yeah, I'd call Daytona. That would be a fuel mileage race for us, but yeah, that for you guys, that is a
Wild card.
wild card drafting.
That's
race.
our shot. And you guys can
calling your shot.
I mean, that's probably the most practical one where we can be in the hunt and contender for a dub.
Yeah.
And we've been close before. Ended up 4th the last time we were there, so why not? Why can't chip away at a couple spots?
You're gonna be the spoiler. You could be the spoiler.
That'd be something else. It'd be a hell of a party. But going to Richmond this week, we're gonna buckle down and see if we can have a solid run on some option tires, some prime tires, some yellow tires, green. Don't matter what color tires it are, black ones. We're gonna be up there digging on them at Richmond. 6 p.m. on USA, guys. Tune in. This is Stacking Pennies. I'm Corey LaJoy. That's Ryan Flores. Talk to y'all